because someone told you about banknotes and foreclosures, right? You want to get more information about that. So tonight you're going to get that information from two speakers, two of my mentors that's going to share that information with you, that's going to help you change the game and get started. So our first speaker tonight is going to be Miss Tina Hodgins. She just literally hit director in this amazing company, and she's my mentor. Throw some fire emojis in the chat for her, because she literally came in and crushed it, and she's literally like on my back say, hey sis, you're next. So I'm going to remove myself out the way, throw them some fire emojis in the chat for her, give her her flowers now. They always say it's always good to give someone their flowers now, then later. Give it to her in the chat, because this right here is something you don't want to miss out. Miss Tina, I see you're here. I'm going to remove myself out the way.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Whitfield. I want to say for y'all to drop some fire signs in the chat for Ms. Whitfield. For one, for getting us on this call, for starting us out, getting us in the right energy. I do appreciate you. And yes, you're next up, sis. So let's go for director. We're running right now, okay? But tonight, my name is Tina Hodgins. I started in this industry needing credit and stuff like that, but I found something that also gave me the opportunity to learn how to invest. We have a lot of companies out there, they talk about what they can do in regards to investing and stuff like that, but do they actually give you the inside secrets of what the big institutions are doing? Well, this company definitely does that, and they're giving out the secrets and they're teaching you as you go. While you're learning, you're also learning how to, like Ms. Whitfield kept saying, buy back the block. So it's time for us to start making money off of these hidden secrets, these hidden gems. Well, this company is going to give it to you. I'm excited to bring this information to you, and I'm going to start my screen share now. But I want you guys get a notepad, because we also got a second half of this that my mentor is going to be talking about, and you definitely want to make sure that you are taking the notes and you are open to what we're about to get to talking about. But you definitely want to make sure that you are taking notes. You're going to need this, and this is going to be an investment worth everything. So I'm going to start the screen share now. So what we're going to be talking about is building wealth the way, building wealth the way the big banks and Wall Street funds do. So we're going to learn to buy distressed, discounted assets currently held by these institutions and turn them into profit. We all know about real estate and in regards to buying property and buying homes and things like that. But do we know about something different? Do we know about banknotes? No, a lot of us don't. If you know about banknotes, or if you've ever been taught about how to purchase foreclosed homes, put a 1 in the chat. But if you haven't, put a 2 in the chat. And if you put a 2 in the chat, I definitely want to make sure that you guys are listening. And like I said, make sure you're taking notes. This here is going to be a game changer for all of us. And the key questions I want you to ask yourself. One is, how can I build real estate investment portfolio? And 2 is, what are the most profitable ways to invest in real estate? And it's funny because Mr. Andrew Carnegie, even though he's not with us now, he was old school, and he talked about real estate being 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. More money has been made in real estate than all industrial investments combined. The wise young man or wage earners of today invest his money in real estate. And guess what? Our very own Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, who in this day and this time, if you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he talks about it. So real estate investing, even on a very small scale, remains a tried and true means of building on the individual's cash flow and wealth. So what does that mean? In real estate, money is made on the purchase, not the sale, you guys. So keep that in mind. And then the 5 most popular, one second. 5 popular real estate investment strategies are, we know about real retail property sales. It's lucrative, but guess what? It takes a lot. It's very competitive. And then we also have rehab property sales. And that's getting hard to find good deals and requires a lot of work. Why? Because the flipping is, we got to get these homes, we got to rehab them. And a lot of areas, and I know here in Michigan, you get a lot of people that buy these homes and then they start, rehabbing them. And then you got people coming in and taking the work that you put into it, or even vandalizing the property. So yes, it sounds good and it can make some money, but it's getting hard to find a good deal, and also finding some good property. And then we have the foreclosure auctions. It can offer this kind of properties, but competition is high. You need a lot of capital when you're dealing with the foreclosure auctions. And then we have the REO sales. So these are our bank-owned properties and not being offered at the discounts they used to. But this is where the game is changed, you guys. The lender and the note holder. That's what you want to be. You want to be the lender. This is where large banks and hedge funds play the game. The question is why? And the answer is simply this. There is a lot of money to be made in bank notes, discounted notes on loans and stuff like that. It's not about just buying property now and holding on to the property. It's about learning how to take that note from that property and make money off of that note and not the property itself. We always were taught about, let's buy real estate, let's do this, let's do that. But guess what? It's not even about the property itself. And you want to know what note investing is. So note investing is a promissory note or loan along with the mortgage or deed of trust. It's committed to pay that bank that is backed by real estate. So these notes are typically bought and sold many times. So if you own your home right now, put an M that you have a mortgage in the chat for me. Because 9 times out of 10, is your mortgage lender the exact same lender that you had when you first purchased the home? Most of the times, typically it's not. They sell and move these banknotes often between different companies. You're still paying your bill, you're still doing what you're doing on your end diligently, but guess what? They're still flipping these notes. So this is what we're going to be talking about during this course. So non-performing assets or defaulted notes are often discounted deeply and sold to those who work to resolve the debts. So say if you get into a situation where your home goes into foreclosure, the next one talks about how note investors buy these assets and discount them and carry out many strategies. So say you invest in a foreclosed home and you buy one of these banknotes. Well, guess what? If that person doesn't come out of that property, and we don't want to see people losing their homes, but say they don't, and you bought that note, you not only own that note, now the property becomes yours too. So it's a win-win on a lot of different arenas, but because you own that bank note, now you have that property. You can flip it or do whatever you want. And my business partner is going to talk about that next. And then it's note investors work through licensed mortgage services and foreclosure attorneys. So it's not you doing the work, it's someone else doing the work for you, but you're learning while you're doing it. So the biggest thing is, I want you guys, as we're going forward with this, take your mind off of the norm. I want to buy this home, I want to hold on to this home. That's the old way of doing business. This day and age is all about these bank notes. It's all about learning how to move forward with moving in and out of bank notes. So buying them and flipping them. So it ain't flipping a house, it's flipping the bank notes. So I want to bring up my business partner, Ms. Michelle W. Kofer. She's going to go into the ins and outs of what it looks like to buy a bank note, the different things that you can do. And then she's going to show you how you can also invest in this note university and also learn how you can buy these bank notes. We're learning this, we're teaching this. And when I say there's a lot of money out there that can be made, the banks have been doing it for years and we had no idea about it. But guess what? Right now, right here, we're going to show you how you can become part of that big institution and own banknotes yourself. There is, and it's at a discounted price. Is very lucrative for you to start doing it now while, look, business is hot. And that's all I want to say. So Ms. Kofer, are you there? Let's show them how to make this money and make this
Listen, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well, Ms. Houchins?
I can.
Awesome. Listen, y'all, she said while it's hot. So go ahead and draw some fire symbols in the chat for her for sharing that information. I know I saw a lot of twos come across the chat and I was a two. I had no idea about how to build wealth, first of all, had no idea how to build wealth in real estate, second of all. Why? Because most of the people around me didn't own anything. And I don't know if you're on the line today and you're like me and, maybe you always aspired to build wealth, but you just had no idea how to do that, right? This company has pulled out all of the stops. They've made it simple. I'm going to show you guys a couple sample deals, but what I want you to understand on the call tonight, that the way wealth is being built in America is changing, right? Who was around? I guess everybody on here should be old enough to remember 2008. I know we got a few millennials, but who remembers how the market crashed? Any realtors on here? Any investors on here? Well, what happened in 2008 when the bottom fell out, there were people who did unfortunately lose their homes, right? But when they lost homes, there were people who came in and they swept up the notes, they swept up the purchases, and those are the people who are the millionaires that are in our economy today. So we know that things are changing. And so what I love about Note University, and I love about what Mr. Newberry has put together for us, is he's positioning everyday people like you and me. You know, some of us on the line got money to invest, some of us don't, some of us have never heard about investing, because some of us have, but he's making the tables even. And so as we get ready to go into what I'm going to call a very trying time in America, I want to show you how deals are done very simply through this Note University. You're going to learn hands-on, not from me, not from Tina. I'm going to show you who's going to be teaching you this skill set, but you're going to learn hands-on how to acquire these notes, how to acquire these real estate deals, how to make them profitable, and build a strong portfolio where you now are earning residual and passive income. So just to give you guys an example of a deal, we have thousands and thousands of properties in our inventory. Listen, go ahead and drop in the chat where you're located, what state you're located in, because I can tell you we have properties there. Mr. Newberry has an extensive portfolio. I'm gonna talk about him in a little bit, y'all, but we have properties all across the country. But let's just look at this little cabin right here in Maine. So the property value is $115,000. The note was purchased at $51,000. Now, what I will tell you about note investing is maybe you don't have a lot of investment capital. Maybe you're an average mom trying to make a way. You see a path for prosperity for your family. Guess what? This company says, if you want to invest, we'll fund you. You don't have to have perfect credit to get funding from our company. But in this deal right here, this cabin was $115,000. The note was $51K. But guess what? This house ended up going on to foreclosure about 4 months later. Earlier this year, in January, this particular property sold for $93,000 in a foreclosure. So the holder of that note, Tina talked about, we're now taking on the role of the bank. Somebody put it in the chat. I own the deed. That's what happens in note investing. You're taking on the role of the bank. So now the owner of this note just made a $23,000 profit in 6 months. Do y'all see that on the screen? 118% gain in just 6 months by making a small investment. And in this case, just so you guys see, it says amount finance. So you might come in on a cash deal because you got it like that. But if you don't have it like this, this company is going to be able to finance that deal for you to get you to the closing table so that you can acquire these notes. All right. And so I want to show you guys one more. My screen is skipping. I want to show you this one right here. This is in Florida. Now, I want to show you because I heard Ms. Houchins talk about so many of us are used to the fix and flips, right? Put fix and flip in the chat if you've ever fixed and flip, right? We're used to that. And I know when I was growing up, we thought that people were super rich and they had it going on because they had 3 or 4 rental houses. Imagine having thousands of notes you flipped. Like, I've never seen a person flip 1,000 houses, but you could do that in notes. And guys, it is as lucrative as doing that, but you don't have a hard hat crew. You don't have to worry about people, as Tina said, coming and stealing your things. You literally don't even have to step foot on the property as the owner of the note. It's an amazing process to learn about, guys. But let's look at this property in Florida, right? So this property right here, 90,000. Again, guys, you know, what I'm showing you are examples. We have land in our portfolio. We have amazing, beautiful mansions in our portfolio. We have far distressed properties like the one you're looking at. So our portfolio is very vast, but this house is in Florida. It's 90,000. The note was purchased at 52. Then the investor actually ended up owning this house. So had they wanted to maybe fix it up, turn it to an Airbnb, they could have easily done that. But they decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead on and sell the property. And that's what they did. But look again, $20,515 they made just like that, right? So they made a 31% gain. I don't know where you can go. You can invest money and you get a return on your investment like 20%, 30%, 100%, 200%, other than note investing. And so why I get excited about this, because many of us never have had access to wealth building. Now, I've been fortunate. Many of us on the line have been fortunate to get around some serial entrepreneurs. They've taught us some stuff to do with our money. We own a few houses or land or things like that. But listen, guys, imagine if those kinds of deals were a part of your real estate portfolio. Imagine what kind of wealth you start building, right? You would literally be in a place where now your cash flow is fluid. I had a mentor tell me one time, if you're not in position to invest, you will never build wealth. Anybody on the line, let me just check the room. I want to do a temperature check. Ever read Think and Grow Rich? Anybody ever read Think and Grow Rich? If you have, drop me in the chat. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I read that book in college because see, I've been thinking about wealth all my life. So I know now we're in the wealth transfer. If all my Kingdom people on here, let me get a head nod. We're in the wealth transfer. This is stuff I've been wanting to access, but it was thousands of dollars to get into courses. I'm talking about, I saw a real estate course that was $7,000. I saw a banknote course that was $12,000. Anybody remember Carlton Sheets? Anybody on here old enough to remember? I remember as a college student paying to get Carlton Sheets real estate investing course because it's always been on my mind. I maybe never had the capital, or I never had the fortitude. I never had a mentor. Now you have somebody guiding you through this process. Well, listen, what would it be worth to you if you knew how to, as he talks about in Think and Grow Rich, how to have a skill set, how to have specialized knowledge, which puts you in position to build wealth, to be able to find properties, to purchase properties, to manage and be able to profit from these things. Listen, y'all, what you got to understand is what you learn through this program, 98% of Americans do not know. So you get to walk away with a certificate. You get to walk away as a certified note investor through Note University. So you're going to participate in the Note University course, which is video based. It has written materials. You have cliff notes. You have masterminds. Listen, every week we meet in a mastermind. Nod your head, Ms. Houchins. If you've been in on one of our masterminds, guys, drop me in the chat. Listen, these masterminds are powerful because you're sitting in a room with multimillionaires. You're actually watching deals be done right on the spot. You're learning a hard skill set that nobody can ever take away from you. Put legacy in the chat because what we're getting ready to show you will position you to build legacy. You got mentorship. You're able to start investing, and guess what? You don't have to go through and try to figure it out on your own. A lot of us have spent a lot of money doing things. I'll be honest. I can be transparent here. I bought a course. I don't know if you guys know Markel Russell. I paid $12,000 for a course from Markel Russell to teach me social media. I probably could have just like asked Yolanda Whitfield to do that, right? Because she knows social media. But in this course, guys, you're going to be working with someone who is vetted, proven. He's flipped over 10,000 deals. You're going to gain experience because guess what? We talked about 08. The next turn down in America, guys, is going to be very dark and it's going to be bleak. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have people who lose their homes. Some may be our family, some may be our friends. But what if you had the skill set to know how to beat the bank? That you could actually hold the note and your family member could pay rent to you instead of paying rent to Bank of America. I mean, mortgage to you instead of paying to Bank of America. Or if for some reason they lost a home, you still got it, but you still kept your family from being displaced. We're talking about putting you in position to build wealth, gaining the experience to do that. And guess what? There comes some risk with it. When it comes to anything where you're going to grow money, it's a level of risk. But if you know Warren Buffett, you know Warren is a documented billionaire, guys. Real estate, it makes a difference. Now, this gentleman right here is who's going to be teaching you. I'm not teaching you. Ms. Houchins not teaching you. Ms. Whitfield, the person that's inviting you, they're not teaching you. In fact, we're in class alongside each other. And it's super fun to be able to learn because this guy right here, y'all, he's a genius. He's super passionate about the work that he does, came from nothing and built up a multi-million-dollar portfolio in real estate. We're talking about he's held thousands of apartments at a time. He's been investing in banknotes since 2008. Remember I said the market crash? If you had your money and your credit together, you can come in and swipe some stuff up. So that's what he did. He's literally over the last 10 years flipped over 10,000 notes. He has his own servicing company. He has a trustee services company. He's able to give you the financing to put behind these notes. And Mr. George Newberry, I love this guy because, guys, he married to a Brown sister. So he has a goal. I no offense to anybody in the room, but he has a goal to make sure that we can raise wealth building and home ownership in the Brown community at least to 75%. Why? Because in America, we've always lagged behind. We've been disproportionate. Like, listen to me, y'all. I'm talking real talk tonight. I don't care if I never get reparations. Give me the skill set. Show me how the people became millionaires and I can go become a millionaire. That's what you have access to tonight. George launched this Note University, guys, because he wanted to give everyday individual investors the ability to come and do things that big corporations and banks have been doing. Like Ms. Hodgson said, they've been doing for decades, but you didn't know about it. Nobody's going to teach you about it. So when you go through the NOTE course, guess what? You're going to learn the who's who. Who are the people involved? Who are the key players when it comes to investing? You're going to learn the basics about investing. You know, maybe you never heard certain terminology, but you're going to learn all of that through the course. You're going to learn the 10 ways to build a profitable portfolio. So how can I put money in and be ensured that I'm definitely going to get money out? And then what I love is we have the deal first aid. So this is actually our live deal lab where you get to see these transactions. So let's say I look at a property. I wish I had the time to show you guys tonight, but let's say I go pull up a property in South Carolina. I'm able to see what that property is assessed at. I'm able to see the market value. You're able to see, you know, what they're asking for. And just like a regular transaction in real estate, where you make a bid, they push back. It's the same in notes, guys. We just didn't know this. Somebody say, we know now. We just didn't know this. And then they're going to show you how to build a substantial business in this place. And more importantly, again, like I said, guys, Napoleon Hill talks about specialized knowledge. You walk away with a certification in this. At the end of this, you walk away with a certification, you passed the exam, you've done some deals, and you are now a certified note investor. Just like you got a real estate license, can't nobody take that from you. You got insurance, can't nobody take that from you. You're an educator, you got certification, nobody can take that from you. When you work through this course and work with Mr. George Newberry, you walk away with something nobody can take away from you. So I want you to ask yourself this question. What is, and I'm gonna add a word, what is specialized knowledge worth? Because I can know a lot, but if I know how to go in there and do what the wealthy people do, I can come out as the wealthy people. What do you think in the chat, guys? Just knowing based on what you've seen and heard today, what do you think this course would be worth? I just want to see the chat. Let me stop my screen share for 30 seconds. What do you think it would be worth? And some of you guys may have looked at real estate investing. So let's just see, if you looked at it, what have you seen out there? Somebody say 5,000, 7,000. Is that, oh, I found out this man was a prolific investor. One of the things I said as a founding member was, y'all got to give us access to that. I promise you on everything. I was like, it's no way we can be building this platform and this man knows all of that and y'all don't give us access. They gave us access. Somebody say access granted in the chat, because I want to show you guys what most wealthy people will never show you. How to get this certification, how to not just get this certification. Y'all dropped all those numbers in the chat. What if you could get it all for free? Complete the course. This will be the one thing that you can do for your last name. Put your last name in the chat. This could be the one thing you could do for your last name and finish. If you finish this course, Mr. Newberry says, you know what, it's free. Now it's already super affordable. Guys, it's only $1,495. Now, I promise you on everything, I have seen courses, 7,000 plus, $1,495. You might say, well, you know what, Michelle, I don't have that kind of money. No problem, break it up, y'all. 3 payments of $595, you still get day one access and you can learn and earn at the same time. They're gonna break it up for you. But I can tell you what I know. You can see information and make a decision to do something with what you saw. You can see it and pass it on to somebody else. But if you've been on here and you're on the line tonight and you've been one of those people that's been saying, you know what, it's time for me to figure out how to really build wealth. Like, I've worked 16 years. That's my testimony. I worked 16 years. I worked 25 years. I retired like Tina from the military, but I never was in a position to say I could pass on generational wealth. Listen to me right here. A wise man will leave an inheritance to his children's children. If you're on the line today and you don't have access to systems and resources that teach you how to do that, then you need to figure out how can you figure out how to get this $595 to get started. I don't care if you partner up with a best friend, get your sorority sister, get your husband, get a couple people, say, look, we're going to do this course. We're going to do it together. You come up with $250, I got to, whatever you got to do. Listen, guys, get this. Because what we're doing right now, if you get started this week before Friday, you get access to this introductory price. It's not going to be this cheap again. This is the first time it's rolling out. And you've been invited by somebody who said, you know what, I think highly of you. You're a wealth builder. I think this is something that could benefit you and your family. So they put you at this table to eat. Ecclesiastes 11:2 says, you might well get you 7 to 8 streams, yeah, because you never know when a family's going to come on the land. You guys, we are in that place. All seriousness. We're in a place where tables are turning. If you haven't looked around, people are in economic distress. And if you haven't looked, America has reached her debt ceiling, and where they're going to pull the money from is from public services, from things that are serving the lower class, the working class. This is your opportunity to come in now, scoop up, as Tina said, scoop up things. And if things go left for people, you hold the note. You're the bank. And that's what this course is going to teach you. I'm super excited. We're super excited to be able to share this with all of our family, our friends, our colleagues, our coworkers, because we know this is a game changer. So figure out how you can get started, get back with the person that invited you and say, listen, send me the link. I want to get started. Guys, listen, they may not have all the questions. Why? Because they're going to school too. They're learning with you. So if they can't answer it all, it's okay. Bring your questions to the mastermind and get them answered by a multimillionaire who this is what he does every day. Okay, so if they can't answer it, it's okay. Maybe they can connect with one of their leaders or mentors. But guys, I don't know everything. Tina doesn't know everything. We're still learning. This is a new skill set, but I tell you, once you got it, guys, nobody can ever take it away. Nobody can ever take it away. And what I love about Mr. Newberry, he said, I'm going to see who's serious about building wealth. If they finish the course, I'll give them their money back. Y'all, all the knowledge in the world is not in the hands of people who are selfish. There are some people out here who have hearts to see other people do well. Mr. Newberry is one of those. And so on our way out, drop some hearts in the chat, guys. Listen, I want to bring up our DJ, our host, Miss Yolanda Whitfield, just to play a little music and play us on out of here. But guys, I'm telling you, I haven't been more excited about anything. And I'll be 40. I'll be 44 this year. I had to think, but 40. I'm excited about this because I've prayed for these kinds of opportunities. And one thing I know about us, let me talk to my brown people on the line real quick. One thing I know about us is we'll see something and know we should be doing it and talk ourselves out of it. I paid Markel Russell $12,000 to teach me how to post on Facebook and make groups, and I already knew how to do that. I felt like that was a total waste of my money. I paid Spectacular almost $3,000 to learn how to do the same thing, and I never get business from Instagram, but I paid for that. This is a skill set that I am gladly investing in. I was glad they got my money. I'm excited they got my money, and you can be excited too. You guys, we'll see you at the banks. We'll see you on the beaches of the world because we about to retire over here. All right. So that's my time, Miss Whitfield. I'll turn it back over to you.
Guys, you just got some amazing information. Put in the chat as you're leaving out by the block, by the note. Go to the next level because this is something what you about to do. There's no company out there that says, hey, you take the course, I'm gonna give you back your money and be a partner. It's nobody. You can't even live next to your bosses that's a millionaire because they don't want you to live there. But this company right here is doing something completely different. And what we're trying to win, we're trying to live, we're trying to get it. So as you're leaving out, get back to the person that invited you to this call and let them know where you stand at. Let them know you want to see them in class with you on Tuesday. Hey, today is Tuesday, right? We see you in class next week. Bye.